Hello. So I am going to be doing a review of the all-new JLU Wrangler Unlimited. Bought this vehicle in 2018, March of 2018. I've owned it. It's now August of 2019. I've owned it for a year and a half. And I'm going to run through, kind of give you my experience so far. I did go with the Rubicon. I would say that my use is probably that of your average Jeep owner. I don't do any crazy off-roading, no aftermarket parts on the Jeep yet, but you know, it's all in all, it's been pretty good. The vehicle itself, the issue, and why I would say from a recommendation perspective to proceed with a lot of caution, is actually more so in the experience that I've had with the Fiat Chrysler Group. I'm not sure if this has changed after there was some investments and Fiat got involved or what, but this is my fourth Wrangler that I've owned, and while it's the best Wrangler that I've owned, I've also had 8 months of issues with it. So I'm going to dive into the good first, and then if you're hanging around, I'll explain to you why I would say proceed with caution. So first of all, what did I get as far as options in the vehicle? And here I'll turn the camera around and show you some of the inside. So as I mentioned, I got about 32,000 miles on the car. Had it for a year and a half. I really like, you know, the middle screen is very functional on the dash. I've got the upgraded 8.4 inch Uconnect system, and this system is very intuitive. I travel a lot for work. I get a lot of different vehicles when I travel, and this is one of the, if not the best systems that I've used. Now this does, oh, there's my auto start on and off that just went off. This does start to get a bit buggy. I think it's software, so it'll be pretty easy to fix, but I will include a clip or two of the malfunctioning that I've been experiencing, that I've been trying to get fixed since January. So we're talking 8 months that I've been having issues. The bigger issue is on the outside with the paint, so hang on tight for that. I did get the leather. So here, from a comfort perspective, not only is it much quieter than any of the previous Jeeps that I've ever owned, but I used to truly get, you know, my back would be in a knot if I drove my older Jeeps for anything more than a couple of hours. This, I can get out after a couple of hours and be just fine. It's much more comfortable. I have the soft top on the car right now. As I mentioned, on the highway, back roads, very quiet. I can have phone calls. Never could do any of this stuff in my older Jeeps. It rides almost like, you know, a non-luxury SUV, kind of like a 4Runner might ride, right? Other things that I got that I think are worth it is I did get the, you can see the triangle on the mirror right about there. That indicates your blind spot monitoring. So the safety group is good, especially if you have the top down and wind's blowing, things like that. You know, it's a valuable add-on to have. So the other big thing for me when it comes to the interior before we move outside, again, I'm very happy. I would recommend those additional options. The slush mats, which are a little bit dirty, sorry about that, but the all-weather mats I think are a must-have. They fit perfect. The JLUs have an additional 2 inches of length, which you know, helps. I've got a forward seat in a booster for my 4 and my 9-year-old. They fit no problem. There's actually decent leg room. I've taken these out. I've had colleagues that are 6 feet and over in the back, and they do just fine. So there's more room. I also have a 1-year-old, and to be honest with you, I haven't even brought him in here yet because I don't think that a forward-facing or backward-facing rather seat would work without putting somebody squished in the middle. So all in all, you know, I've also got the upgraded sound system. There's a subwoofer in the back. The sound is really good, and I don't really have any complaints. Everything's laid out pretty nicely on the vehicle on the inside. My only complaint about the inside is this little guy up here bugging out every once in a while. So from the outside, the vehicle still looks great, right? I got the gray metallic paint. That's where I have my big issue, and I'm going to dive into that momentarily, which is ultimately the reason why I would say stay away, or at least led to me feeling like you should stay away. But anyways, it's dusk. Hopefully you can see it all right. The options that I got on this were the upgraded wheels. So the rims have two-tone to them. I think they got a pretty good look to them. If you're planning on changing the wheels anyways, you can probably get, it's like a $1,200 upgrade, I think. You can probably get some even nicer wheels when you get your tires. The Rubicon does allow for a 35-inch tire. I haven't done that, like I said. I haven't changed anything, but if you're planning on upgrading your tires, then you can probably forego the rim upgrade. The LED package, which might be a little bit blinding, these are the daylight running lights on now, not the full headlights, but I definitely recommend this. It changes the look of the car a lot. One thing is that I did go with the regular non-body colored fenders. I would, if I had it all over to do again, I think I would probably opt for the painted fenders, only because having owned Jeeps in the past, this material, the plastic, is pretty porous. It's hard to keep not to fade, and it's just difficult to keep clean as well. So my original thought was I was going to put on one of the aftermarket fenders because I like the way that those look a lot. Problem is that with the LED package, these turn signals will throw an error message up on your console if you do not get something to bypass that warning. So all in all, it looks good. You probably can't see right now, but there's some scratches to be expected when you take the plastics off. So I would say invest in one of the bags for the top if you can. So now I'm going to dig into a little bit of the paint issues that I have. All right, so now I am back in the garage. This might be a little difficult to see, but the long and short of it is that I already, and this is why I say buyer beware, is that I already have corrosion on the vehicle. So on every, you can see a little bit here, you see those bubbles? These are bubbles underneath the clear coat, okay? It's on every, here's some more. Every single hinge, you know, in the door itself. If you move back, you know, there's more on each and every one of them. Sometimes they're hard to see. They're certainly more noticeable in person, but you see all that. It's a little bit hard to see. I apologize for that, but there's bubbling all around it. It's a little easier to see further out, I guess. So anyways, you know, here, every single one. So why is this such a big issue? It's such a big issue, to be honest with you, because I noticed this bubbling 8 months ago in January of, well, actually I noticed in December of 2018. Couldn't get an appointment at the dealership until January of 2019. It's now August of 2019. It's been 8 months. Brought it in, the radio they plugged in, you know, they verified both the issues. The radio they plugged into a diagnostic set. They said they could see the malfunctioning. This was back in January. The paint, they visually saw it, took pictures, scheduled up the body shop, or at least they tried to. Couldn't get into the body shop. They said they ordered the radio, didn't come in, it was on back order. And 5 months after that, they actually got me a body shop appointment. I called in plenty of times, right? So much so they were unresponsive that I went to Jeep customer care. Jeep customer care couldn't get things going, so I went to Fiat Chrysler customer care. Then I actually got the appointment after I escalated it to them. They said they were going to fix it, brought it in. They said that the body shop fixed this bubbling. Fast forward about a month after, I noticed that it actually expanded. So I said, okay, well, you got to bring it back. I said, guys, I'm getting really tired of this, right? Should be up to manufacturer's standards, at least after 6 months at this point, trying to get it fixed. But nonetheless, I went in and I said, okay, I'm going to see what's going on. The body shop looked at it and they said, you know, we're going to have to take half your Jeep apart. This is actually corrosion. Now, I'm not sure if this is local to my car or not, but beware, corrosion. So then I talked back to Chrysler, and they said, well, as per the warranty, we have to try to fix it again. I said, well, I've already got 2 shades of paint because it's the first time. They can't match the paint perfectly, right? So the first time I brought it in, there was a second shade of gray. And I said, you know, I bought this car. I didn't lease this car. So this is accelerating the devaluation of an already depreciating asset. At some point, if I want to turn around and sell this car, now it's going to have at least 3 different shades. There's going to be a Carfax saying a bunch of different times to spend in the shops. And basically the response, this is from Enhanced Customer Care, was that, yeah, well, these things happen, right? It's just something you're going to have to deal with. So I went back and talked to her. I said, this doesn't seem right. And so I said, I might look at this lemon law stuff because I've tried to bring it in and get it fixed for 8 months now. I've been putting a bunch of my time and effort into getting this thing done. And the Enhanced Customer Care came back and said, well, you live up in the Northeast. Talk to the body shop and they use salt on their roads. Maybe that's what caused the corrosion. This is a Jeep 4x4. And they are saying that maybe salt within 12 months causes corrosion. So beware. If you do buy a Jeep, first of all, it could be fragile. Second of all, the customer service is ridiculous. Now, that paint, 8 months I've been trying to get fixed. It's corroding. And I'm going back and forth with them, and I just don't. The only thing I can say is that I've had to pour a ton of effort trying to get this fixed. Having been through 4 Jeeps in the past, before Fiat bought a major stake in it, I had no issues whatsoever. If I ran into something, I'd bring it in, the Jeep dealership would get it fixed, no problem. This is the worst customer service I've ever experienced. I've owned a lot of different stuff. This is the worst. So the vehicle's good. My buyer beware, or I would say do not invest in one, is because if you have any issues with it, Fiat customer care is absolutely adorable. So hopefully that helps you in your decision. If you have any questions, type them below. I'm sure I'll answer them. Thank you. Oh, last note is that the garage is the car's garaged every night, unless I'm traveling. It's in the garage. So, and it goes through a car wash. I got a membership. It's like 2-3 times a month it gets the car wash. So it was taken good care of too. Cheers.